In this video, we will be showing you how to install the MLCS number 9576 router table fence. To begin, open the box and place all of its contents onto your assembly table. These are all of the items included in your package for your MLCS router table fence. A table mounting bracket is used to attach this fence to the router tabletop. This bracket is equipped with a slot to accept a T-nut for assembling the fence track to the table mounting bracket. The fence track comes attached to the aluminum extruded fence support for shipping purposes. It must be removed before starting assembly. First, locate the knob that holds the ruler. Remove it as it's in the way from removing one of the 6 10mm bolts. Loosen the 3 bolts on both sides and then slide the track off of the fence and place them aside. Screw the T-nut onto the threads, leaving it loose at this time. Slide the T-nut into the T-slot on the fence bracket. Leave only hand tight. Now repeat this process for the opposite side. If your tabletop is pre-drilled for mounting fence tracks, turn the tabletop upside down and position the fence track assemblies. Use a 4x8mm by 25mm wood screw to attach the fence track assemblies to the MDF core tabletop. For the pre-drilled phenolic tabletop, like shown here, use the 6mm by 45mm socket head cap screws. There will be 4 screws for each side. After hand tightening each bolt, use the supplied hex key to finish the job, making sure to not over-tighten. Repeat this step on the opposite side of the table. Now it is time to level the fence track. With the table in the proper upright position, place the fence on the tabletop and allow it to hang over the edges of the table and lay across the fence track assemblies. Raise the fence track until it is flush with the bottom of the fence. Lock the fence track assembly in place using a 10mm wrench. It is best to do this one bolt at a time, and for each bolt, reposition the fence directly over it to make sure it is flush. Repeat this process on the opposite side of the table. Next, we'll be mounting the fence to the fence tracks. Slide the 3/4 hex nuts into the T-slot next to the ruler on the fence tracks. Place one end of the fence over the hex nut, and with the extension knob going through the slot in the fence, thread the knob into the hex nut to hold the fence into position. Do the same thing on the other side of the fence. Use the extension knobs to securely lock the fence into your desired position when in use. The rulers on the fence track are adjustable to add precision to positioning of the fence. To adjust, loosen the curled nut under the fence track, move the ruler to your desired position, and lock it in place by tightening the curled nut. You can use these adjustable rules as a 0 position reference point by adjusting the ruler to 0 once your fence is set up in the desired position in relation to your router bit. The fence is supplied with a nylon bushing for keeping the fence centered on the table. Use the 6mm by 15mm bolt and insert the 1/2-inch nylon spacer and the thread on one of the 6mm nuts. Do not thread the nut all the way on. Now slide the square nut into the front T-slot under the left side of the fence. Leave it loose and approximately 1 inch from the end of the fence. The sub fences come pre-installed and are fully adjustable and even removable. Use the supplied Allen key to loosen the nuts holding the sub fences tight against the fence. The knobs on the back of the fence allow you to tighten or loosen the sub fence. An adjustable sub fence allows you to accommodate bigger and smaller bits and have better dust collection. This fence is supplied with offset tracks to allow for 1/32 or 1/16 offset. These tracks are stored in the back of the fence. Remove the sub fence and you will see locations specifically designed to accept the offset tracks. Use both offset tracks on the same sub fence to ensure that the offset is consistent on top and the bottom of the fence. Now you may reinstall the sub fence over the offset tracks. Attaching the router bit guard. Use the two 1/4 inch square nuts and place them in the T-slot in the fence. Insert two of the black curled knobs through the slots in the router bit guard and thread them into the square nuts. Slide the bit guard to your desired location and use the knobs to lock them in the position. You have now successfully installed your fence to your router table.